Right then, come on, tell the truth. Have you missed me? Because I've missed you lot. I've had a couple of days off, haven't I? A few days hiatus from the channel, and I couldn't have picked a worse time because everything just starts going off the second I go away. Yesterday was deadline day, and as always, on deadline day, the place to be is Stamford Bridge because Chelsea absolutely love it. We got some deals done, we got some players out the door, and I'm going to speak about all of that in this video. I also still need to record and drop my preview for tomorrow's game against Crystal Palace. So that means that today, ladies and gentlemen, is probably going to be a double upload day, or at least you'll have this one to watch, and then tomorrow morning you'll have the Crystal Palace preview to watch. That does not get any better, does it? So that's not enough of a reason to hit the like button right now. I don't honestly know what is. Can I top it? Can I top it? Yes, I can top it. I'm in the studio with Josh, the big dog, Aveste, channel fan favourite tomorrow. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. Let's talk about deadline day. And there's only one place to start. It is obviously Broja to Everton. No, I'm joking. Jadon Sancho to Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea agree a one-season loan deal with an obligation to buy. And despite the terms of the deal not yet at this moment in time being crystal clear, we are led to believe that obligation to buy is around 25 million next summer for a player that Man United paid 73 million for just a couple of seasons ago. Now, this deal, straight off the back, right, I think that if this was 6 months ago, there would be a lot more questions than answers around the Jadon Sancho deal. And I don't think it would be a deal that I would be that excited about. But the context that we now have after being banished and exiled and not playing a minute for God knows how long under Erik ten Hag is that in the last 6 months, Jadon Sancho has gone on loan to Borussia Dortmund. He's played really well over there. He's helped them reach a Champions League final and therefore has proven that in the right setting and in the right environment, he can definitely still be a player that contributes at the top level. Now, straight off the back as well, when I look at Chelsea and I speak about that word environment, you would just imagine at a glance that Chelsea is going to fit Jadon Sancho way more than Man United would, you know. Look at the teammates, the guys that he's going to be playing with. You would think that in terms of age, in terms of interests, you would think that he's going to settle in better to the Stamford Bridge dressing room than he would at Old Trafford, you know. There's plenty of guys around Jadon Sancho's age. I think that Jadon Sancho is going to find himself way more at home in the dressing room with the likes of Cole Palmer, with the likes of Romeo Lavia, who he would know from the Manchester City Academy. Tosin Adarabioyo is probably another player that he would know from the Manchester City Academy, you know. Noni Madueke, well, they're different ages, but English, you know what I mean. He's just going to prefer it at Chelsea. He obviously is, isn't he? So I do genuinely think that straight away, in terms of the environment and the workplace, that is already going to be a factor going in Jadon Sancho's way when he comes to Chelsea Football Club. But it's not only that, it's also the style of play that's going to be wanted from him. And the fact that I believe in Chelsea's system at the moment, despite us getting beat by FC Napkin the other night, we do have a bit more of a clear plan in terms of how we want to play than Man United do at this moment in time. No one can convince me that Ten Hag really has a style of play, or at least a style of play that's going to suit a Jadon Sancho at this moment in time. So I also think that that is going to go in our favour. Now, do I feel like we needed Jadon Sancho? No, probably not. Probably not. Do I feel like the money could have been invested a little bit more wisely going for a traditional all-out number 9? Probably. However, there's context here. And the context is that we didn't go for an all-out number 9. And Victor Osimhen, I never thought it would happen. I thought it would drag on and on and on, and there would be continuous stories about it, and ultimately nothing would come to fruition. That's exactly what did happen. However, the fact that we didn't go for an all-out number 9 now gives me a clearer indication of where these players might play that we have in our squad at this moment in time. Also, the fact that we let go of a number 9 although he would have been surplus to requirements, in Armando Borja. So let's speak about that, right? Now, here is how I look at it. When it comes to squad depth and attacking-wise, we definitely have that depth. We are top-heavy, and we know it. So we've got that can play through the middle in Nkunku. We have got Nicholas Jackson. And I have always said that I believe that João Felix would play through the middle for Chelsea Football Club. Then we look at the right-hand side. We've got Noni Madueke there, and we've got Pedro Neto, who can play right or left. He's played left for Chelsea so far, but he did play right wing for Wolves most of last season. Now, Cole Palmer played right wing under Mauricio Pochettino most of last season, but under Enzo Maresca, we've seen him utilised better as an attacking midfielder. And we've also obviously got Nkunku that can drop back there and play as an attacking midfielder as well. So then we look at the left wing. I mentioned the fact that Pedro Neto can play over there. Okay, brilliant. But other than that, with the loan sale of Raheem Sterling, it leaves us with Mudryk. So then we've got to compare the two. And I think that you guys that are regular watchers of the channel know my thoughts on Mykhailo Mudryk. At this moment in time, despite me learning from my mistakes when I ripped Cucurella off and now he's become one of our most important players, I just don't see it with Mykhailo Mudryk. I really don't see it. Yeah. I don't think Mykhailo Mudryk's that guy. So, what I wanted to do is, I always tell you how I go on the eye test, but rather than just going on the eye test, I thought, let me compare Jadon Sancho and Mykhailo Mudryk. Because you might say, well, hold on, you got Pedro Neto there. So, you've just brought him in. But actually, notice over the last couple of weeks, Mykhailo Mudryk's had a fair few minutes. And if it is between Jadon Sancho and Mykhailo Mudryk to have those minutes, I would be picking Jadon Sancho. But I don't just want to go in there and make that statement without giving you guys any of the thinking that goes behind it. So I went on Squawka, who obviously are partners of the channel. Absolutely love them. They've got the brilliant website for player comparison, the comparison matrix they call it on the website. Absolutely love it. I've been living and dying by it recently. They're linked in the description to this video. So if you compare from last season per 90 minutes, Jadon Sancho to Mykhailo Mudryk tops Jadon Sancho ever so slightly with shots on target per 90. Nice. He tops Jadon Sancho ever so slightly by a fingernail with goals per 90. He's got 0.3 per 90 compared to Jadon Sancho's 0.2 per 90. But that is where it starts and ends in terms of Mykhailo Mudryk topping Jadon Sancho. Because when you go conversion rate, Jadon Sancho's conversion rate is so much higher than Mykhailo Mudryk's per 90. Jadon Sancho registers the same amount of assists per 90 as Mykhailo Mudryk. Way better when it comes to chances created, passes completed, passing accuracy, crossing accuracy. The same per 90 minutes on through balls. Jadon Sancho significantly better when it comes to forward passes, take-ons completed, and he loses possession a lot less than Mykhailo Mudryk. So the stats from an attacking perspective are there for me to see. Jadon Sancho is a player who is going to be utilised way better on the left wing than Mykhailo Mudryk. And then it gives us clarity that through the middle, whether or not we wanted an all-out number 9 and potentially you class Mark Gu as that and he might come good, that is yet to be confirmed. We do know that positionally, we will have João Felix and Nicholas Jackson probably battling it out for that number 9 space, okay? You might look at Nkunku there. I feel like he is best served a little bit deeper. So, to clarify again, 2 for each position. Cole Palmer, Nkunku. Jadon Sancho and Mudryk. On the right-hand side, Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto. So, I think it works really well. I do actually think it works well. I think we're going to have a lot of games this season. Would I have rather we went and got a Victor Osimhen? I'm not too sure. I think I would have rather we went and got an Ivan Toney. Because Victor Osimhen, could this age like milk? Because with the fact that we now know that Victor Osimhen has been left out of Napoli's squad, we could go back in for him in January. And after a few months of sitting on the sidelines, and if we were in desperate need, which hopefully we're not, maybe he might be tempted and he might be willing to budge on his terms. So I almost feel like I don't want this to roll off my tongue, what I'm about to say, but I always keep it real with you lot, so I'm going to say it. I'm done with Victor Osimhen, okay? I've washed my hands of him now. You had the chance to come and join Chelsea. I understand it. I understand that you would have been taking a pay cut and you didn't want a loan deal. And ultimately, you had the offer there on the table from Saudi. But look how that has gone for you, you know? Because I think that people see the Saudis coming in with their bids and they just think that, oh, yeah, you know, the Saudis will just pay whatever and they're not, you know, financially aware or financially clever enough to be able to put themselves in a decent position to do deals where you look at them and you say, okay, yes, they can afford to pay these wages and they can afford the transfer fees, but being able to afford to do something and being willing to do something are two completely different things. And ultimately, it seemed, to put it in layman's terms or in simple man's terms right here, it seemed like Napoli tried to mug off the Saudis. And the Saudis turned around and said, no, we're not having none of it, mate. Now, Victor Osimhen is in the middle this whole time. Chelsea are saying, come here, come over, come on a season-long loan, prove yourself over here, and then we'll probably give you a good contract at the end of it. It's not going to be what you were earning over in Saudi if you had took that deal. It might not even be what you're earning in Napoli. But footballers are very, very well off, aren't they? They're well paid. We'd have given him 200 grand a week if he had come and done the business. Are you telling me you're 25 years old? You couldn't have signed a contract on 200 grand a week? I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I'm definitely done now with Victor Osimhen. I don't want us to go back in for him. It is what it is. Let's move on to Raheem Sterling. Now, Raheem Sterling wanted a permanent deal. He ended up going to Arsenal on a loan deal. And my good friend Jacob from the Kickoff, who is a big Arsenal fan, earlier on told me that he thinks that Raheem Sterling would be third choice on the wing. Sorry, Jacob, to drop you in it, but I've got to do it. He might have had a rethink now. He thought he'd be third choice on the wing for Arsenal. I'm telling you now, Raheem Sterling will start way more matches for the rest of this season now for Arsenal than Martinelli. And I'm guessing the other choice maybe you were talking about was Trossard. Raheem Sterling won't be third choice for Arsenal. He'll probably be first choice for Arsenal. It's really funny when I come back to saying about the environment that you're going to in terms of a player. Because when it was looking like Raheem Sterling was going to be going to Man United, I didn't think that was a good move for him at all. And I didn't think he'd go there and flourish. I didn't think he'd really contribute all that much. Maybe a little bit similar to how Mason Mount's fate has panned out since going over there. But Raheem Sterling at Arsenal, he'd probably do the business. He'd probably end up this season with 15 goals and assists in the league. What's that? 7 goals, 8 assists, out of that. That's pretty simple for Raheem Sterling. If he plays enough, I think he will. I think it's a good move all round if Arsenal are covering the wages. Because at the end of it, I think if he proves to be a significant player for them and he helps them out, then I think that Arsenal will go in and they'll do a deal for him. I don't know what the price will be, but either way, he was surplus to requirements at Chelsea. So when you go, you don't want to strengthen Arsenal, I don't know. I'm that bothered. If he wasn't going to be used, I don't know I'm that bothered. If we've got better options, I don't know I'm that bothered. Do you know what I mean? So as long as Arsenal are paying the wages, and then at the end, we get some money for him. Now, even Raheem Sterling will have to take a pay cut in that situation because I think their highest earner is maybe Kai Havertz. I think they're paying him about 270 grand a week, 280 grand a week. Raheem Sterling's on 325. He'll take a pay cut. He'll probably have to go down to 220, something like that. But I think he'd be willing to do that. I do genuinely think he'd be willing to do that with the allure of competing for the league this season, as I think Arsenal will, and playing Champions League football. So I kind of feel like everyone's a winner in that deal there. Broja to Everton. Now, this one I don't like because apparently we're still paying the wages and there's not even an obligation to buy him at the end of it. Broja to Everton. Josh predicted this, didn't he? Before Everton were even sniffing round Broja, Josh Aveste came on my channel and said that he thinks that Broja would go to Everton. So well done. He's got his mystic ball. He's been looking into it. Now, if only he was right about Mykhailo Mudryk when he said he was going to come good. Maybe he will. I'm looking forward to seeing him again on Sunday. We've just had a few days away together, me and Josh. Everyone on the channel thinks we've fallen out. We definitely haven't. Either way, Broja to Everton. Do I think that he will give them the firepower to avoid a relegation battle this season? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know with Broja. I feel like the injury absolutely ruined him because he looked like he was going to be a great, great player before that injury happened. And ultimately, since then, he's really flattered to deceive. I really hope for Broja he is. But I think either way, whether he's the player or not for Everton, I can't see us ever getting near that 50 million that we initially thought we'd get for him. I think Everton might have been better off trying to sign David Datro for Fana. I think, as far as I'm aware, he stayed. So, I don't know. Broja to Everton, will he get goals there if he can stay fit? Yeah, he should score a few headers, set pieces, things like that. I don't know. I really don't know. If I'm an Everton fan, I'm not going to be over the moon with the signing. Obviously, I think he failed a medical at Ipswich, so God knows. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I suppose. Chalobah to Crystal Palace. Again, Josh Aveste. I don't know what is in the water where this boy lives, but he's predicted another one. He said this about 2 months ago before Crystal Palace had sold Anderson when it looked like they might be selling Gahey. I think it was during the Euros. He said that he thought that Chalobah would go to Crystal Palace, the club that Chalobah made his debut for Chelsea Football Club against, if I'm not wrong, and scored a long-range banger against. Wish him all the best. Absolutely wish him all the best, Trevor Chalobah. He's there on a season-long loan, I believe, so he won't be playing against us. Definitely won't be playing in the match tomorrow against us. Don't think he'll be playing in the other fixture against us, but he will contribute significantly to Crystal Palace. He'll start a lot of games. A centre-back pairing of Trevor Chalobah and Mark Gahey, that's good. That's good. That is a good centre-back pairing. And they're linking back up again because there's a couple of Chelsea Academy graduates. And can I be honest with you? I don't want to say it's better than Fofana and Colwell. But it's better than Disasi and Badiashile, isn't it? It is. Chalobah and Gay is definitely better than Disasi and Badiashile. What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, let's keep it positive. Trevor Chalobah, wish him all the best. Wish him all the best. I'm going to have to rethink now. Who's my favourite Chelsea player? Because it was Trev. Now he's gone. I don't know who it is. Palmer, probably. Oh, God. Let's have a think about it. People, I'm just freestyling this today. I didn't really have any notes for you because I just wanted to get back on the channel, reconnect with you lot, relight the fire, and I'm going to get this one up. And then I'm going to get straight on to the Crystal Palace preview, my starting 11 to do the game. And you lot will be happy because some of you lot in the comments section have told me you need to do your starting 11 picks after Enzo Maresca's press conference. I do completely understand it, but people, you've got to understand my situation. I am a busy man, so I do these videos as and when I get the chance to do them sometimes. And sometimes that means that it will be before Enzo Maresca has given his press conference. I'm very sorry, but I just like to speak to you lot. I just try and get the opportunities to them when I can. But this one will be after the press conference, so hopefully I will only be picking players that are fit and available, which excludes, I think, Lavia and Reece James. There might be some more, I'm not too sure. We'll have a look at it, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to know who you think the best signing, not from deadline day, from this Chelsea transfer window is, and who you think the worst sale from this Chelsea transfer window, including loan sales, is. Do you think Raheem Sterling will smash it at Arsenal? Do you think we should have signed Jadon Sancho? And how do you feel about the Victor Osimhen deal? If there was a chance to get him in January, would you be open to still doing that? People, thank you very much for sticking around to the end of another video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one.